Alright, in this video we're going to be learning about geometric sequences. A geometric sequence is a little bit different than arithmetic because the pattern is what we call multiplication. Okay? So when we're talking about geometric sequences, we refer to the pattern as the growth factor. Alright, so the first thing you do when we have a sequence and we want to determine if it's geometric, what we do is we find the growth factor, which I'm going to label as GF, by taking the second term in this sequence, our second term is 14, and we divide it by our first term, which is 7. And this will give me 2. So this is telling us that our growth factor is 2. So to double check if our growth factor is 2, what we do is we go to the first term and we multiply it by our growth factor of 2. And what's 7 multiplying by 2? 14. And then we continue this pattern to double check to see if this pattern is actually geometric. So I take 14, I multiply by 2. And 14 multiplied by 2 is 28. 28 multiplied by 2 is 56. So that tells me that this is a geometric sequence with a growth factor of 2, which just means, again, that we're multiplying by 2. So again, if we have a sequence over here and we want to check to see if it's geometric, we find our growth factor, which would be the second term, which is 8, divided by the first term, which is 16, and this is going to give me 0.5. So, okay, this is a little different. Now we have a decimal. Does this make a difference? No. We do the same thing. What we do is we try to continue this pattern by multiplying by 0.5 to see if this is geometric. So I go to my first term. The first term is 16. I multiply it by 0.5, and 16 multiplied by 0.5, you can use a calculator, equals 8. I continue the pattern again. 8 multiplies 0.5, that will give me 4. 4 multiplies 0.5, that will give me 2, and so on. And now again, I see that this is a geometric sequence with a growth factor of 0.5, and if we notice, what's happening to our numbers when our growth factor is less than 1? Our numbers are getting smaller. All right? So we're going to just take a look at one more sequence that is a little bit more confusing because if we notice, we see decimals in this sequence, right? Again, don't be scared. We treat this just like any other sequence. So to double check if it's geometric, I first find my growth factor. I take the second term, 22.5, and I divide it by my first term, 30, to figure out what my growth factor is. And here I'm going to show you, I'm going to have a calculator. So I do 22.5 divided by 30, okay? And I find my growth factor is 0.75. All right, so again, I'm going to double check to see if this is my pattern. If my pattern is multiplying by 0.5, so again, I go to my first term, multiply by my growth factor that I found, and I'm going to double check my calculator, so I do 30 multiplied by 0.75, and what do I get? 22. I do it again. 22 multiplied by 0.75. What do I get? 16.875. Is that the next term in the sequence? Yes. So I could do it again, but that will confirm that this is a geometric sequence. So the big thing to remember here is, guys, the pattern is multiplication, okay? But to find the growth factor or the pattern, if you notice, we divided, okay? So to find the pattern, we divide. But to continue the pattern or double check the pattern, we multiply. All right, best of luck. That's it.